Well, welcome back. We just continue to talk about the snowstorm that happened on Tuesday here. Now, this is a very, very large city. And one of the biggest problem that we have here is a lack of public transportation. We have jams on these highways every day anyway. Between 3 and 5 is always jam. Everybody leaving the city going on 285 is always a nightmare. I-20 on Fulton Industry is always a nightmare. 85 South North, 75 South North, it's always a nightmare anyway. So, but at least the traffic is staggered a little bit in the evening between 3 and 5. But on Tuesday afternoon, when everybody was dumped on the street at once, it became hell, hell on earth. And I mean, this is something that I am truly embarrassed about. I mean, honestly, I've been talking to people from, up north, and they think it's a joke. And it's really not a joke. If I wasn't living here, I would be laughing myself. How could this happen with 2 inches of snow? But I mean, it's just the lack of coordination between the different counties. And I know I'm saying this over and over again, but we have such little counties here. Like in Philadelphia, for instance, you have Philadelphia County, you have Delaware County, you have Montgomery County. Those are like three big counties side by side. And those are huge counties. And they're responsible for a huge area. We don't have these they don't have these little broken up counties here and everybody responsible for their little cities. And so we're practicing disaster drills and stuff like we are back in 1999. Not even that, in 1979. This is the 2014, and we don't even have a good disaster plan here in this area. It's very, very scary because I'm thinking if 2 inches of snow can do that to us, if 2 inches of snow can do that to us, what would 6 inches do? Here we have another caller calling in, so we're going to take this call. This is Lady K on Mega Studios. Hello.
Hello, this is Sean.
Hey, Sean, this is Lady K here. We're on the air for you to know. And I want you to go ahead and tell me about your experience that you had coming home Tuesday afternoon. Just tell me how, from when you left wherever you were to what time you got home. What was the experience like? What highway were you on? Did you see any saw trucks and stuff like that? I just want to hear exactly what's going on.
Well, Tuesday afternoon, I left work about 12:45. And when I left work about 12:45, the snow came down so hard, I didn't know that the snow was going to be so crazy. I thought we were going to get a little snow, like sometimes they tell us we're going to get snow and we just get a little bit of snow here and there. So that's what I thought it was on Tuesday.
Right.
Anyway, I left work on my way home. There was cars stuck everywhere, cars running downhill.
Wow.
People pushing each other cars. It was crazy. It was a disaster.
Wow.
People stranded. Kids coming out of the school.
Wow.
They're trying to drive out of school. They can't get out of school. The poor kids was pushing their cars all over, and the cars are running back on them.
Oh, my gosh.
The good thing about on Tuesday is that there were so many acts of kindness.
Right.
There were so many people going out helping each other. It was a lot of act of kindness.
Right.
I did not know there were such nice people in Atlanta.
Right.
On Tuesday, it really showed Atlanta.
Wow.
But on Tuesday, it was a disaster. It was really a disaster on Tuesday with that snow. Atlanta, we're not used to all that snow. So we got the snow, and we didn't know what to do with ourselves.
Well, about how many hours were you stuck in your car?
I was stuck in my car about 9 hours. I was coming
God.
from Marietta.
And normally on a
Coming
normal
from Marietta to go to Roswell.
Yeah, on a normal day going from Marietta to Roswell. How about without traffic? How much would you say how much would you say the time would take for you to get from Marietta to Roswell on a normal day?
About 30 minutes.
And you had
30 minutes.
And it took you 9 hours to get home.
It took 9 hours.
Did you have enough gas? Were you scared you were going to run out of gas, or?
I was afraid I was going to run out of gas. As a matter of fact, I stopped and got gas a few times because I'm not sure if I'm going to be stuck in traffic and not have any gas in my car. I've never experienced driving 8 or 9 hours before.
My God.
So it was an experience for me. So, of course, you panic.
Of course, yeah.
And the worst part about it is that we didn't have any police around to direct traffic.
Yes, yes.
And I mean,
Mm-hmm.
DOT, no DOT,
Mm-hmm.
9 hours of driving, nobody, no
My God.
DOT, no police. And if
Mm.
you did see a police, he's struggling just like you are.
What a situation. I mean, it's almost laughable. You know, it's almost laughable. I mean, in this situation, the police should be outside navigating traffic. They didn't even know what to do themselves. Wow.
He didn't know what to do. They don't know
Wow.
what to do.
Mm. Does this kind of
So,
like, you know, and we're having a very honest conversation because this show is what it is. We just say it like it is. Let me ask you a question because I thought about this. Are you afraid that if we have a major catastrophe, how would we get out of this city? How would they react? How would they handle it? I mean, if 2 inches of snow and a little bit of ice did this to our city, cripple us for 3-4 days, what would happen if something major happened? You know what I'm saying? Just a thought.
if something major happened, I don't know what we'll do.
Mm-mm.
I don't know what we'll do. Everybody better have a plan B. If you ever hear on, they announce it on the weather, talking about the weather, saying that it's going to be snow. Everybody better have a plan B. You know, because on Tuesday it was like an island. It's like everybody was on an
Parking
island
lot.
and everybody's trying to get off the island.
Yes.
And we can't get off the island all at the same time.
Right,
And
exactly.
it was crazy on Tuesday.
Yeah, it
It was
was.
just like an island.
And I tell you this too. You know, I had to go up I-20 today, then 285, then 400. And I will tell you something. When I got on Thornton Road from where I live, there was so much ice on the road, and this is Friday morning. Still looked like they didn't do anything to the road where I live over here. Then I got on I-20, there was still a lot of ice off the when you're trying to get off. There's still a lot of ice. 400, those ramps, they still were very, very icy. This morning, this snow happened on Tuesday. We had Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and still today, Friday. The only great thing that I could say about the county that I live in is that they did decide to close the schools today and be smart about it, because all that water that was melted yesterday when it went up to 32 degrees refroze last night, and this morning was nothing but ice again. It was a lot of refreezing going on last night. So, I'll be honest with you, and this is an honest conversation like we're just talking. I'll be honest with you, it's a terrifying event for me. I wasn't caught up in it like that, but I'm telling you, I look into this and I took wisdom from this, and I said we are in some serious trouble down here. We are.
Absolutely.
We are in some
Absolutely.
serious, serious trouble down here, because if this can paralyze a city like this, oh my God, if we have something really major, what would really happen? And I don't know. I know for one thing, I was saying to somebody that they don't have enough public transportation to get people out of the city. See, if this was New York, it wouldn't happen like this, because everybody would have gone on the L. They would have gone on an underground train somewhere. Some public transport, mass transit would have took them out of the city, and all these cars wouldn't be jamming up the freeway. And we don't have that here. And it's like they don't want it here. And the city has grown, but the government stayed behind. It's like there's so much people here. The city has grown so much, and you can tell by the growth of the city by the cars on the street. And there's so much of us,
Absolutely.
everybody driving, because you have to get around. There's no other way of getting around here. There may be a bus in Cobb County which come maybe every 2 hours. It will not take you where you're going. It won't take you when you cannot get it out of your streets. So the fact that the situation is dire. Everybody driving. These people absolutely don't have no experience on the ice or snow, and they're driving just as fast as ever, flipping their car. I mean, because they're used to good, nice, clean road, and that's what they're used to. And
Hmm.
I don't see any way out of this. I honestly, I don't want to be a naysayer. I hope it don't happen again, but I can't. I hope it don't happen again. I would think that at this particular time, that they would learn, and I think what would be different the next time is that they probably will close the schools, they will stagger the business traffic, and maybe we won't have this jamming again. But as the city continue to grow, with no more with the highways that they have right now is a continually jammed, I don't see how we're going to have much improvement. I don't know what's going to happen. All I know is this, that these government officials, whether they be in Cobb, Cherokee, wherever they are, Atlanta, they all need to sit down, come up with a contingency plan, come up with a disaster plan, come up with something so people don't have to go through this again. And people don't have to figure that they're going to die in their car, or they're going to die a hypothermia in their car. And that's how I look at it because, but honestly, I mean, honestly, I know somebody was in their car. A friend of mine's sister was stuck in the car for 20 something hours. Her car died on her. Some good Samaritan couple took her in their vehicle, and that's how she survived. And she had a bad leg. She couldn't walk a lot. So she would have froze to death. It was like, what, 16 degrees that night. These people down here not used to no 16 degrees weather. It was colder here, from what the weatherman said, in Atlanta than it was in Alaska. Alaska was 38 degrees on Tuesday or Wednesday, and we were like 16 or 17. So it was colder down here. So I don't know.
And after driving 9 hours, I had to abandon my car and walk the rest of the way.
My goodness.
Because it makes no sense to stay in the car and you're not going anywhere. So I had to get out of the car and walk.
Oh, I didn't know that. So you got out the car, and how long was the walk?
I walk about 2 hours.
Gee, oh my God, I didn't know that. Wow.
Because after sitting in traffic, I'm in Marietta, sitting in traffic, and cars are sliding down, and every route that I take, it's the same thing. You keep taking different routes. You keep going in the same direction. You're stuck. Eventually, you're stuck. So, I mean, I'm like, okay, well, maybe the quickest way is to walk home. So I left the car on the side of the street and started walking.
My goodness. And oh my gosh. And so you made it home because were you able to get your car yet, or you got your car?
Yes, I got my car on Wednesday. On Wednesday, I got my car.
My God.
I mean, this was a disaster. My family called me from Virginia, and they just can't believe what's going on. The few inches of snow. And, people were having baby on the highway.
Yes.
On 285.
Yes. Little baby.
People were having baby.
Yeah. Wow.
And do you know that they called the National Guard?
Yeah, they did.
It's so embarrassing,
I know.
The little snow that we got, the National Guard had to come and help us.
Yes,
but when you look at it, we're so helpless. We are.
Yeah, we are helpless, And they when they did call him, they called him. They should have been calling because they figured the kerfunkel that they have. That why didn't they call him before? But they finally got smart and called him. But by that time, they couldn't even pass the street anyway because the cars was all just turn across, the tractor trailer and flip on 285, and it was a mess. I don't even know what to say. I'm really flabbergasted, and I'm absolutely ashamed. Absolutely ashamed of this is just embarrassing. Honestly, it is embarrassing.
Very embarrassing.
It's extremely
embarrassing. And when my family call me, I tell them I don't want to talk about it.
It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. It's completely embarrassing.
It's very embarrassing. My dad called me from New York, and he's like, what is going on? Because what they see on TV, is like, what they see on TV is crazy.
Yeah.
So he's calling, what is going on? Are you okay? What is going on? And I'm like, Daddy, just what you see is what's going on. Just what you see. That's what's going on in Atlanta.
They can't understand it up north because 2 inches.
They can't understand.
They can't. That's nothing. That's a dusting. That's nothing. You don't even panic until it gets 6 to 8 inches. That's a dusting. But the difference between the north and here is that they have the equipment, they have the budget, they know how to do it. They got multiple trucks. They salt all night. They sand all night. You hear what Kasim Reed said when I listened to him. He started to tell him, start salting the road at 9 o'clock. He knew the snowstorm was going to come about 10. Then they wanted to start salting the street at 9. No preparedness. I mean, they don't get it. They don't understand. They just don't understand. If this was the north, we getting a snowstorm, they're going to start salting all night long. These are pros at it. They need to really go talk to some of these northern states and figure out, how you guys do it.
Absolutely.
That's one of the pros. If something is wrong with you, go to a specialist. They need to go to a specialist, and that's Virginia, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Connecticut, Canada. Go to people who do this all the time because it will happen again.
Absolutely.
We will get snow again. They need to go to the experts and stop having this big head about getting advice from people because they just don't know what they're doing, in my opinion.
Right.
And as I said, my opinion is my opinion, and they just don't know what they're doing. They are completely, I don't even want to use the word I want to use, but I'm just saying they're out of their league in this, and they were taking it as a joke. One was getting an award for being the best New Georgian or something, and the other one was at some kind of promotion of Georgia Tourist Board. It's just amazing to me while this was going on, they were getting awards and having lunch. Meanwhile, people were getting stuck on the street. What is wrong with these people? You know?
While
So,
people almost dying on the street.
it is amazing to me. I'll tell you, this one goes down in the record book, I'm telling you. But anyway, Sean, it was lovely talking to you, my dear, and I'm so sorry for your experience. But you know, if I was you, I would jot it down in my memoir so I don't forget it. You don't forget the pieces. I'm sure you won't forget walking 2 hours home in the freezing cold, you know. But I mean, this is something that you can jot down and just tell it to your grandkids someday later. You know, the
Absolutely.
great traffic jam of 2014. You know, don't forget it. You know, so until next time, my friend. Thank you for calling and sharing your experience with us. Okay.
Okay.
All
Thank you.
right. Okay. Bye bye. Yes.